You are beautiful, I am beautiful, all of us are beautiful regardless of and despite of our successes and setbacks. Hi, I'm Larra Lasam, and I'm a content creator, motivational speaker, and a psychology student. When I was 11 years old, my cousins and I went to a local festival in San Vicente Po, Olango Island, that's just off the coast of Lapu-Lapu City in Cebu. We were there as backup dancers for the local festivals, and then the power went out. There was power outage due to a transformer blowing up, and I suddenly had the urge to answer the call of nature. I had to pee. I didn't have a phone or a flashlight at that time. I was 11 years old, so the only viable thing for a light was a candle. And my little cousin, Jam, volunteered to be with me. So off we went to the toilet. Halfway through finishing my business up, the entire comfort room blew up. I heard a loud bang. The next thing I knew was we were on fire. And I saw a bucket of water on the far left corner, dipped my head in it in hopes that when I resurfaced, I would wake up. Because that was just a dream, right? But when I took my head off, it wasn't, I was still there, and we were actually burning. Apparently, the fire from the candle got caught with a leak from the LPG, from where the adults were cooking food for the fiesta. And we got out miraculously. And as we went out to seek refuge from the outside world, I stopped, looked at myself in the mirror with just a speck of light from the moonlight outside, and asked, what will my life be after this? Like, who will I be after this? After that, we were in the hospital for 3 months, and we suffered second and third degree burns on personally 46% of my body, and underwent 9 operations under general anesthesia. On the 9th operation, the doctor said we can't undergo general anesthesia anymore because we might not wake up. So they did the operations while we were awake. Painful is an understatement. The physical burns is really, really painful to manage or even survive through. But past that, for sure, it was the emotional burns that we didn't see. The intangible emotional burns that were not as easy to cure or manage or deal with. To me, specifically, that came in the form of blaming myself and blaming other people and trying to figure out how or why this came to be, the quote-unquote purpose of all these. The major thing for me was mainly seeing my family, my parents, my siblings, and my cousin got into a very unfavorable state. And I attributed that to myself. Like, I was to blame for that. And trying to figure out that there was blame game happening was very difficult, and forgiving myself was even more difficult. I feel like as humans, we are hardwired to survive. There was a faith instilled in me that is not necessarily tied to specific religion. Like, there's some sort of power bigger than myself, and perhaps in the future or in the grand scheme of things, this will make sense. So maybe that. But also in a more tangible, concrete manner, it was my friends and my family. I have been very blessed with the best people ever to journey with me. I don't think I would be like this if it wasn't for the people that I was surrounded with. You could say I started actually actively and proactively healing or accepting 7 years after the accident. It wasn't a one-time thing. It was a gradual experience, conversation, and then me trying to materialize, ooh, these are things that actually connect to what the, say, universe is telling me or what God is telling me to do. During my 7th accident anniversary, I went to the place where the accident happened and did exactly the same things I did. But instead of questions, during that time, it felt like I had the answers. 11-year-old Lara asked questions about identity or what will my life be after this, or like who will I be after this. During that time, I had answers of, this is you. You are more than your scars, or you are more than familial and societal imposed limitations and identities. And right now, I would say to 11-year-old Lara that you will be okay. Even if it doesn't seem like it, it will be okay, and even more than okay. I feel like 11-year-old Lara would say, are you sure? But I think it helps. It's one thing to hear something, an empowering message, say, or a comforting and empathetic words that you want to hear during that time, and another to believe it. So that step, maybe like the reinforcement bit. Hearing it is different from believing it and actually embodying it. So it's a constant thing. I will constantly tell 11-year-old Lara that you will be okay, even if it doesn't seem like it. My definition of beauty now is that we have a sort of essence, humans, and it transcends physicality or even the intangible things that we think are definitive or descriptive or attributive to our beauty. Initially, I started like how everyone starts. My definition of beauty came in the physical form. We're visual people. I see you, you have specific Eurocentric with all our colonized tendencies. So you have specific ideals. And then came the accident. And I had to grapple with ideas and definition of beauty that didn't have to do with physicality. So I did that by focusing on the internal aspects of myself. So I strived in my academics a lot. I tried to treat other people like kindly, and you know, the inner beauty that people talk about. But then came a point again when I'm not all those things constantly, because I'm human. And then that came again, led me to reevaluate what really beauty is to me. That's when I coined my definition of it as transcendent, where my beauty, worth, and value is independent of how society, myself, or even my family view it. I feel like self-acceptance came into play first, prior to loving, or maybe those two things aren't mutually exclusive. Those two things can coexist. How self-love came to be in my healing process was, I remember vividly, I tried everything I can. Prior to me unleashing and exposing my scars, I was covering myself with masks and cardigans. Pandemic came. I didn't have any excuse to wear masks and cardigans because I was just at home. So I was exposed to my own scars, and I remember looking at myself in the mirror, seeing myself and having a pang of hurts in my heart, like, nah, this isn't it. I don't look the way I want to look. And I tried everything I can. I devised ways to overcome that, did all the self-help thing, read self-help books, talked to a therapist, like did everything I can. But then it wasn't there yet. So at 2 a.m. on an October of 2020-21, I went up to my dad's and my mom's roof. The moon was above me, the wind blowing from my right-hand side. And I said to whoever, just the wind or like the universe or God, please give me a heart that can accept what I can't change. It was a sort of surrendering. Maybe that intention, maybe that surrendering bit, the acceptance, because I was so limited, I could say, and life or love or acceptance was a force bigger than myself, so I had to surrender. And after that, it wasn't all magical that I did accept myself. It was a gradual thing, but that intention of like, give me a heart that can accept what I can't change, did the magic for me. And then, as if the universe sensing that I want this, then came series of conversations and opportunities and meetups with people that led to that. Self-love for me comes in giving yourself unconditional positive regard. That means you in the ugly side of you, the things that you're not that proud of, you get to accept that alongside the very good side or like the favorable side, looking at myself as someone I can accept even with and despite of the flaws, not straying away or not shunning parts of me that I'm not that proud of. It's like bringing them to light and saying, you're flawed, you have all these imperfections or like these insecurities that you have, you're incomplete, you're human. I love you all the same.